Hey everybody, Troy Licastro here for Dave and Adams, and I have exciting news today. We've got ourselves a guest here, one of my longtime friends at the company, Mr. Will Mason, one of our comic buyers. Will, what's going on, buddy?
Not too much. I picked up something interesting this week.
You did?
I did. As you can see, there's a nice little stack of boxes behind me.
Oh, I didn't even notice it there.
It's weird. Just
barely noticeable.
Snuck it in. So basically, was at a show last weekend in New Hampshire. Got back Monday, and I got a phone call about 10 minutes into the day from a customer who was interested in selling a significant size collection. So I made arrangements, hopped on a plane the next morning, flew across the country, went and met the gentleman, looked at his collection, made him an offer, and back on the plane that night.
So safe to say he took your offer, and you were definitely interested in quite a bit of what he had.
Yes, I definitely was interested, and over $200,000 later, we were able to bring this back to the offices. It just arrived today. There's a lot of stuff here. I don't actually remember a ton of what was packed in what order, so do a little bit of an unboxing, and we can find some surprises. So just show everyone what we got.
So we'll see a genuine reaction out of you.
Absolutely.
To kind of, it's stuff that you knew you bought, but
right.
You're not sure.
Right.
Well, great. I think that's the only thing left to do is kind of like, let's just get to it.
All right.
Say?
Where do you think we start?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like one of the Fragile, that's Italian, right?
I think so.
Okay. So I would say let's go with one of the loose boxes here because I don't want to mess up too much. I don't want an avalanche.
All right, sounds good.
So what do you want to do? You want to do this bad boy?
This one first?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see what we got.
Can I get a drum roll? Came with this trusty cutter here.
Let's see.
There you go.
Let's see. What? Oh, this is nice. This is very nice. Let's see. What would we like to show off?
Yeah, pull out some highlights for us. What do you think?
All right, here's a good one. Nova Number One. Seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
Yes.
I take it?
Yes, I have.
John C. Reilly's character is one a member of the Nova Corps. So this is the original character, not John C. Reilly's character, but the original Nova from Marvel Comics, debuted in 1976. Marvel just announced that they will be doing a Nova solo film. So as a result, this is kind of a unique issue now because of that.
So now, Nova's, are we getting a Disney Plus series, or are we seeing a movie on the big screen?
Not sure yet. They haven't really elaborated too much on it. There's only been very limited details.
Sure.
But I'm sure it'll tie into Guardians of the Galaxy in some way, shape, or form. But this is a great one in 9.6, higher grade copy. So.
Well. Yeah. So, no, I'm just taking a look here. And I mean, anything besides just the debuting Nova, anything else special about this appearance?
No, it's typical Bronze Age first appearance. These lately, actually, it's also got a barcode on it, making it a newsstand copy. That being said, I mean, these Bronze Age keys are all starting to go up in value just because, Marvel's digging deeper and deeper into their library of characters and stories. So, whereas before, a huge ton of value was coming from Silver Age books from the late 1960s and prior. Now they're starting getting into 70s books and 80s books and even into 90s and modern books. So you're starting to see a spike in value on all these books as a result because Marvel has this huge, history of stories that they can utilize for movies and TV and anything.
Well, yeah, I've noticed that some are sticking true to your original Golden and Silver Age comics, but of course you are seeing stuff like the Miles Morales Spider-Man storylines being produced in the movies, where the more modern comics.
Exactly.
Very interesting. So that's nice. We'll put that one out.
Let's see what else we got.
What else we got? Yeah, these are clean too. You can just tell. I see some names I definitely recognize in there, so there's definitely some good ones.
Here's a good one. Black Panther number 1, 9.6.
Wow.
So this is actually not Black Panther's first appearance. His first appearance is Fantastic Four 52. This is his debut solo series.
Gotcha.
So came out in 1977, another Bronze Age key. Also, just the natural popularity of the character now. I mean, he's one of Marvel's hottest commodities. They've got Black Panther World of Wakanda coming out later this year. So another Bronze Age key that's starting to heat up more and more because of just the popularity across the line for T'Challa.
Absolutely. And now this one I see came out in '77.
Yep.
So key issues like this of Black Panther, more in the '70s, are these harder to find in the higher grades like the 9.6 or what are you
9.8s are much harder, obviously.
Absolutely.
But they are getting harder and harder to find, just because you have so many collections out there that people are realizing, oh my God, this is this could be in my collection.
Right.
So, and there's a good chance someone has it in their collection. The problem is that just over time paper just naturally degrades. So it's all about how you stored them and that variety. So it really comes down to that in the end.
Yeah, but people are finally figuring out,
Yep.
because you can't hide from Marvel movies or series anymore. Like, it doesn't matter what form of TV, internet, whatever you have, you're seeing it somewhere.
Oh yeah, I saw a new trailer for Doctor Strange last night in the commercial while I was watching the draft, and I was like, I didn't want to know that, but it's you can't hide from it now. So.
Right, that's right. That's coming out May 5th next week,
Next
right?
Friday, right?
Yeah. So you might have some
There might be some Doctor Strange
treasures.
stuff in here.
Yeah.
I think there is, maybe.
Might have some treasures in there.
See if to find out. So, all right.
It'd be strange if they weren't in there.
It would be.
All right, what else we got? Let's see.
Say, let me open this box.
Want to go to the next one?
Let's go to the next box.
absolutely. Let's do it. Looks like he kept the stuff very, very pristine.
Yes, he did.
I mean, these
all-
are just absolutely clean.
All CGC graded, which is great.
Yeah.
They are the quote unquote authority when it comes to comic book grading.
Sure.
So that's one of the great things about it is that a CGC graded book, it's a pretty established value.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy to discern. All right, what do we have here? Oh, here's great. Here's a modern key. This is a Batman Adventures 12 CGC 9.6. This is the first comic appearance of Harley Quinn. Obviously, has become a major pop culture icon.
Absolutely.
Played by Margot Robbie in the DC movies. Harley Quinn actually debuted as a cartoon character on Batman the animated series in the early 90s.
And I might be showing my age here, but that's what I grew up with.
Right.
That was my era of Batman. So as soon as you pulled this particular piece out, I knew the cover exactly because I just recognized it, and it took me back to all those great childhood memories I had of that show.
So the Batman Adventures series was a comic series based on that television show in that continuity. It wasn't in the quote-unquote mainline continuity.
Sure.
So this was the first issue that she's ever appeared in comics before. So this has a significant value because it's a modern key because obviously she's become such a huge character for DC.
Yeah.
But also, at the time, this wasn't a very sought out or collected series. So as a result, you don't see a ton of these out there because of that. It's just one of those things where, it wasn't the most best-selling at the time, so
Sure.
lower print runs, things like that. So it's one of those keys that, it's a modern book that it's somewhat scarce, so that, boosts the value of it.
Yeah, and for someone who may be a little naive in the comic game like me, in terms of from Silver Age to these modern keys that you are speaking of, do you see a lot more print run in these Silver Age ones compared to the modern, or is it easier to pick? Obviously, may not be in these high grades, but is it easier to pick up your Silver Age stuff than your modern?
It really depends on the book, so to speak.
Sure.
A series like Batman Adventures wasn't, like I said, the most printed because it wasn't the most sought after because it wasn't in mainline continuity. Issues of Batman, Superman, action comics, detective comics.
Yeah.
The very early ones are incredibly hard to find. They're considered, the quote unquote grails of comic collecting.
Yeah.
But other issues from those titles are, much more obtainable. Whereas this series, again, because of its, lack of affecting the overall story of the DC Comics universe, you didn't see as many of them,
Sure.
surviving because honestly, people didn't think it would be worth that much. So, which goes to show you never know what you have, sitting in your comic boxes or you're sitting in your attic or your basement. You may be you may be sitting on a significant amount of money that you just don't realize. So.
That's true. Yeah, I find that to be true with a lot of collectibles, not just comics, but
absolutely.
Yeah, let me take a look at that one. I mean, yeah, that's my childhood pretty much on the pages right there. So, what else can we highlight?
So this is a cool piece actually. So this isn't an actual full comic book. This is page number 30 of Batman number 1. Just a singular page. So what's great about this, it features the Joker. The back page features Robin. Batman number 1 is obviously the first issue of Batman's solo series. Batman number 1 is also the first appearance of both the Joker, Batman's arch nemesis, and Catwoman, his on-again, off-again love interest. They almost got married a couple years ago in comics. It was a huge ordeal.
Really?
Oh yeah. So, but this is just one singular page from that book. And the crazy thing about it is even just one page is thousands of dollars.
And that was going to be, as I had the wheels turning as you were talking about this. So now I'm interested too. I see here that obviously, we see 9.6, 9.6, 9.6. On there we see a PG. Right. So what's a little bit of the difference between the full comics and then just sections like pages?
So PG means just that it's just one singular page. It doesn't get an official number grade because it's an incomplete book and it's just a small piece of an overall item. So you see these not very often, but when you do, it's mostly grail books like Batman number 1, Superman number 1, Detective Comics 27, the first appearance of Batman, Action Comics number 1, the first appearance of Superman.
Right.
So you don't see them very often, but when you do, it's almost generally from a significant, hard to find issue.
Sure, and I can imagine too that if you do find these, you often, that looks relatively speaking, just from my naive eye here, my naked eye, that looks in pretty good condition. So even if you do find pages, are you finding ones that are relatively clean like that?
You do for the most part, just because either they were cut out or ripped out of the book. But you'll find some sometimes. But again, because this doesn't have a number grade, it's really all about the eye appeal.
Yeah.
So because you'll have ones that are missing chunks of the corners. This one obviously was ripped out. It wasn't cut out. It's got some tears along the side, so you can clearly tell that's how it was removed from the issue. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's significant in that it's the first appearance of Joker, again, Batman's arch nemesis.
Yeah.
And it's a page featuring that. In general, while this could be a couple $1,000s in value, if this was a full issue, you're talking a minimum 5-figure starting point for the lowest graded copies.
I'd pay off my student loans real nice, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, look at that. So yeah, why don't we do another highlight or two from this box? Right. Let's check that out though.
This is a great one. Seems to be very Batman themed, but you know what?
That's okay.
That's not
nothing wrong with it. Hey, with the release a month ago now of The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
It's funny you mentioned that, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
We have a Detective Comics 58 CBC 2.5, the first appearance of the Penguin, played by
Danny DeVito.
Yes, correct.
Come on. Right.
Yes.
I guess that's showing my age again. If I'm going to bring that up,
I was referring to Colin Farrell.
Of course.
Who knocked it out of the park, absolutely. So
100%. You want to know something? You want to know how good he did, in my opinion? Didn't even know it was Colin Farrell until somebody told me afterwards.
He's actually getting his own series on HBO Max.
No kidding.
That's going to be a Penguin series.
Oh, he was great. He was like, I love the real gangster style he brought out.
You couldn't even tell.
Had no clue.
So this is a 2.5 copy, low grade, first appearance of Penguin, another one of Batman's Rogues Gallery. He's the Penguin got his name because obviously he resembles a penguin. He fights with an umbrella. But in recent years, they've really taken a more tone similar to what you saw in that movie, where he's more of a gangster that just slightly resembles it. He's not at the point where he's going toe to toe with Batman these days, like some of his other arch villains.
I've noticed that
he's more of the criminal mastermind behind the scenes, so to speak.
Because I feel that, sorry to cut you off, but I feel as though that was kind of the way in the episodes. I didn't watch the whole series, but in the few episodes I watched of Gotham, it very much seemed that way as well, moving him toward the behind the scenes, kind of sending out his lackeys.
He's more the guy pulling the strings.
Right.
So, but yeah, this is like I said, a low grade 2.5 copy, still significant value because it is a golden age book from 1941. So, but slightly brittle pages, not the best page quality, but again, something that's almost over, 80 years old is probably going to resemble that type of condition.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah. So we've seen some of the comics here in that. What now? We got the big UPS store box.
This box?
Yeah.
Open that next?
I think we should open that next. I feel like we might find some other stuff in there.
I like that.
But here you go. Take another look. While Will's doing that, we'll show off another Detective Comics there.
We'll just put this down here. We'll talk about this later.
Oh, that thing? I was gonna ask you about that. So you tell me when I'm older? Probably. Right, fair enough. While he's doing that, really cool too. Obviously, if you guys have seen A Christmas Story, pretty awesome here. The advertisement on the back is for the Red Ryder action BB gun.
You almost shot your eye out, didn't you?
Very close to it. Very close to it. So here, we'll kind of move those down. But yeah, I know you said we were talking beforehand, there's possibly some action figures too.
What could be?
Oh, packing peanuts?
Great.
That's all right, I gotta clean up today anyway. Don't worry about it. We'll make a mess. It's fine.
What do we have?
Ooh. Oh, we got some deep diving to do.
Yes, we do. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, we said we were going to bring you in an unboxing, and sure enough, this is the unfiltered unboxing. This is raw footage you're seeing here. He's like a kid on Christmas. He doesn't even know what's in it.
I do. Ooh.
See?
This may predate you significantly.
Probably.
What we have here is a graded Mask Firefly action figure and vehicle combo. Mask was a well-known series at the time, kind of similar to Transformers. But in that there were vehicles piloted by these guys who they would transform, unlike Transformers where the robots, transform themselves.
Yeah.
So popular 80s series. Toys, you don't see them very often. So these are graded. This is an 80 plus by AFA, toy grading company. They again, you don't see these. These are probably rarer than some of the books I bought this week.
I mean, look at the box. I mean, it looks like they maybe took it out once.
No, these.
Or, I don't know. Is that sealed?
These are still sealed.
That's still sealed.
Yep.
I mean, that's unbelievable. And I feel like I vaguely remember Mask.
Right.
To be honest with you,
it didn't reach the popularity in terms of Transformers, He-Man, G.I. Joe, but it was definitely popular, and they've become more sought after just because you just don't see them very often.
Yeah, and I feel like is it one of those things where the classic case of maybe people didn't necessarily know what they had, so of course they're gonna open the box and play with it.
Absolutely.
I mean, when I see Firefly and the Doom Buggy, I'm obviously going to tear it open.
Right.
You're doing a great job keeping these packaged pieces.
Oh, yes, I must say. They're the bane of my existence.
Here, I got to clean up later, so we'll do a little. I'll clean that up later. Don't worry about it.
I did use packing peanuts to pack this. We'll leave it at that.
I won't blame you. That's fine. You're off the hook.
I care about the environment.
We're eco-friendly here.
All right, here's something cool. Again, more DC stuff, but still. This was one of the earlier lines of opposable DC action figures, Superpowers collection. This is a Lex Luthor, obviously another criminal mastermind, arch nemesis to Superman, in his battle armor. This is graded in 80, which is considered generally high for graded toys.
Sure.
So one of the significant things about this is it's unpunched. So as a kid, when you go to a toy store, they were hanging on metal rods.
Yeah.
You'd pull it off, you take it up to the front register. So in toys, when you see an unpunched card, meaning that they never were put out on those metal hooks, it definitely helps boost the value.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. And actually, too, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen these Superpower collection before. Have they been remade in a way? You know what I mean? Or
I'm sure there's been some recreations that they've done over the past because it was a very popular line. We as a company have had a couple of these in the past too. I know there's some really significant ones out there. Like for example, Cyborg, Teen Titans character.
Cyborg.
That one's pretty sought after. That's one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's interesting. You don't see these especially unpunched. I mean, it's amazing what you find that people held on to. Like, I mean, what I'm guessing is a kid bought this, held on to it, didn't pull it out of the plastic, didn't, the hole's unpunched. The self-control someone probably had at a very young age to just.
That's what I mean. Whether it was the parents saying, "Hey, put it away. It could be worth something," or the kid actually showing that kind of restraint.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd never be able to.
Oh, but, no, absolutely not.
I got to tell you, I really enjoy this piece just because this might be a hot take, some would call it, or probably not a popular opinion, but I was way more of a DC kid growing up. So I loved Justice League, Challenge of the Super Friends, all those Hanna-Barbera cartoons. So this one is, really cool to see, and definitely something I remember from watching it.
You're a big Solomon Grundy guy, weren't you?
Solomon Grundy wants some pants too. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, why don't we? Do we have anything else in here?
So let's see if we can find some more stuff in here. So
we'll dig in.
Let's see. All right.
I'll put a little back here.
I remember.
Hopefully you guys are into ASMR. What was that? I don't know. This thing is a...
There's the big one.
Jeez. Holy cow.
Wow. All right. We're going to go for this.
That was like the third of a box.
I know. Ah, that's what it was.
Oh, wow.
So, getting back to mask.
Here, I'll hold this, see if that helps you. Might have to make another cut. Let's see, you ready?
There we go.
Take off the layers.
There
Boom.
we go.
Here
we have a rhino. So, as you can see, this was one of the bigger, badder versions of the toy. Probably on par with what an Optimus Prime would be for Transformers.
Sure.
So this actually came with two pieces. It was a full-size convoy tractor trailer, and then the tail piece would split off into its actual own little vehicle.
That's so awesome.
So,
is this kind of like their quote-unquote command center? Like when you had the 18-wheeler, is that where all their vehicles and that were stored?
Kind of. This was more of a it was a master tractor rig mobile defense unit. So this, I think, is what they would roll into town when they needed to just, fire off a missile and just take out some
take care of business.
enemy platoons. So
absolutely.
But so
and it's actually, I see here too, interesting enough, I don't know if this matters or not, but I see that it has the stickers on it.
yes. So
Is
that's
that from, where's that, is that,
so
that's
let's
not KB Toys,
This is actually no. This is a local department store somewhere. This retailed for $27 at the time, and then it was even marked down to $20.75. Price tags are interesting. Some people prefer them. They think it's kind of unique. It kind of gives you a little bit more of a history of the item.
Sure.
But then other people prefer just clean copies, no stickers on them, unpunched, things like that.
Sure.
So it really comes down to the collector's taste and what they want and what they add to their collection. So, but yeah, these are some unique pieces for sure. You don't see these very often. It's just, like I said, it was a brand that it didn't get the traction, so quote unquote.
Yeah.
But it had a huge following still.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, so these days now, like you just don't see them come to market.
So I'm curious too. I mean, ballpark here. We're talking. You see on the sticker, $24.99 got slashed down to $20. In your mind, what are we looking at now for this Rhino?
This Rhino, possibly. Not getting the numbers, I mean, this could be $1,000 piece.
That's crazy.
So, but again, it goes to show you the self-control. Like, I mean, can you imagine like Christmas morning getting this toy and then just not opening it? I mean, that's.
I'd be in tears.
Absolutely. So,
until the pancake breakfast came.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably cheer up.
Right, exactly. But then while everyone's eating it, sneak in and just open it.
100%.
It's 100%. Well,
all right, so you've made me wait long enough.
all right.
Can I please see the briefcase?
Okay, I can see the briefcase.
Ah, thank you. What a guy. Stand-up gentleman this guy is.
I spoil you.
He's like a father to me. All right.
Briefcase came with the deal, so it's bonus.
Of course it did.
So, this is stuff that I picked up that I have a little bit advance notice on because I hand carried it back just because of its significance.
Sure.
So, first up, this is the murderer's row of the collection. This is the piece de resistance, the heavy hitters, the middle of the order line. So first
the meat and potatoes.
Exactly. So first off, we have a Fantastic Four number 5 CGC 5.5. First appearance of Dr. Doom.
Of course.
Again, the arch enemy, heated rival of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So that's me.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look at that. And obviously, you can see here, for those who may not know, Stan Lee story, Jack Kirby cover, huge names.
Yep.
Huge names in that industry right there.
Here we have an X-Men number 1, the origin and first appearance of the X-Men, as well as Magneto. We're talking the original X-Men lineup: Cyclops, Beast, Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, Iceman, Angel, and as well as Professor Xavier.
And Beast too, not when he was a blue furry beast, when he was wearing the suit.
Yes.
Definitely something to note there when you're taking a look at that.
Next up, we have a Amazing Spider-Man number 1 CGC 4.5. Not his first appearance, but the first issue of his own solo title. Also features an appearance by the Fantastic Four. Spider-Man has had a very, we'll call it, significant relationship with the Fantastic Four over the years. Stories talk about how in continuity, such good friends he is with the Human Torch because they're similar age.
Right.
There was a brief period, actually several brief periods, where Spidey actually joined the Fantastic Four. It also features the first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson, and as well as the Chameleon, the criminal who can take on anyone's appearance, the Master Manipulator.
And I mean, whether you're a casual comic fan or a hardcore comic fan, I think this is one of the most iconic covers ever. So,
absolutely.
Spider-Man being as much of a household name as he is, I think you definitely know this one. So, really cool. Really good stuff.
Next up, Avengers number 1 CGC 6.5.
Oh yeah.
Coming together of Earth's mightiest heroes.
I thought this was the coming together of Earth's mightiest heroes.
Second coming together.
Got it.
This original lineup featured Iron Man, Thor, the Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. A little different than the Marvel movies have presented.
Sure, yeah. So Cap
comes along later on. Cap comes along in issue number 4. Which is Captain America's first Silver Age appearance. But originally he was not part of the main roster. So
definitely an interesting note.
Yep.
And of course too, always, we see our Iron Man nowadays in the red and gold. So definitely interested to see him look like basically the Tin Man there in this.
Well, there he looks like the Gold Tin Man.
The Gold Tin Man.
In this first appearance of Iron Man, he looks like the traditional Tin Man, which we did see in the original Iron Man movie played by Robert Downey Jr. When he escapes the cave. Tales of Suspense 39, CGC 5.0, off-white to white pages. Again, the origin first appearance of Iron Man. Just another significant Marvel key that just paved the way for this huge multi-billion-dollar massive film and TV and toy and video game franchise that just, takes up so much of our entertainment lives these days because there's just constantly new and great content coming out. Wow.
That's amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a master class in segueing right there. How we went from the gold to the silver. So definitely another really cool piece. So who's left in Murderer's Row? Is this the Murderer's Row right here?
This is it for the collection, yeah.
Wow.
But we do have much more in there. There may or may not be a first appearance of Doctor Strange, Strange Tales 110. But again, we just got this stuff back. It's, next coming weeks we'll be listing a little bit to the site every day. So make sure you're going to the website, dacardworld.com/comicbooks. And we're constantly adding new inventory, which obviously will be including these boxes and toys as well.
Great, yeah. And it's funny how we said, oh, that's it. But you've presented us a full buffet table here of some really great stuff. that I'm looking forward for you to, you know, put out there on the website.
Absolutely.
So Will, thank you again.
There's probably about 100 grand just sitting on the table.
Casual. Very casually too, you know.
Casually.
You know, it's nice. We washed our hands after we had some pizza.
Absolutely.
Man, it's good.
Absolutely.
These are good looking.
Yep.
Well, hey man, I really appreciate you joining me today for this. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully you and I get to do this again.
Absolutely.
But now that the business stuff is out of the way, can we play with some of this stuff?
Absolutely.
Check out. I was hoping you would say that.
You want to open the rhino first?
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see you guys later. We got business to do.
Here,
Other business.
Use the box cutter.
Yeah, the box cutter. Yeah.